Well, that was awful. The Flyers lose 6-3 in Edmonton. It is their second game of a back-to-back. On the entire West Coast swing, they went 0-2-1, so they did not find a way to win one hockey game. How about it? Before we dive into this, make sure you use the promo code BROADS for $20 off of your SeatGeek's total purchase. Get yourself to a game. So let's talk about this. Instantly, we allow Mcdavid and Draisaitl to find a way to score? I mean, really, 1 minute into the game, Oscar Lindblom turns the puck over on the half wall, and boom, just like that, they're top dogs. The two guys that you say, make sure you know where they are at all times. Those two players, you allow them to score just like that to take the lead. I mean, the Flyers have done this over their last 3 hockey games. They allowed a goal way too early. You can't put yourself in that position constantly. It's not a recipe for success. So just like that, McDavid gets his first point. Now, I will say this. He had 5. He was dominant. It was on full display today. Now, I love watching him play from a hockey fan's perspective. It's unbelievable. His speed, his hockey IQ, just the way he out-muscles people, and his determination to make plays happen, it's insane. But I hate to see it against the Flyers. Anyone else? All day long, I would love to enjoy it. Tonight, it pissed me off. But it's okay. When we were down 1-0, we responded. We had a power play. It was actually our second power play of the game. And it started with Sean Couturier behind the goal line, behind the net. He passes it out to Giroux, who goes far pad, which is a beautiful play. It's not flashy, but there's nothing greater than a nice far pad. And it goes right to Jakub Voracek's stick. He puts it in. We tied the game. The problem is, only a couple minutes later, boom, there goes Bear, who joins the rush, and he gets a high scoring chance, a high quality chance there, and he puts it by Carter Hart. Carter Hart struggled today. He ended up getting pulled after 14 shots and only saving 10 of them. It's a lot for him to handle. He went back to his hometown. I'm sure that place was filled with so many of his friends and family. It could have been too much for the kid, and he ended up getting yanked and not having his strongest game. So we were down 2-1 going into the second period. I thought the Flyers played fine. It wasn't like they played hideous. They were involved in the game. Their work ethic was there. It wasn't as if they were getting dominated to an insane degree. And in the second period, the Flyers were pumping them, literally all over them. You just had a sense that they were eventually going to tie the hockey game because they were playing so strong, so smart, getting good chances, banging pucks on net. But McDavid, on a puck that was flipped over in center ice, beats Justin Braun. Do I yell at Justin Braun for getting torched by McDavid? No. I hate the fact that he got out-muscled, though, at the end. Like, oh, come on, use your stick a little bit. Use some power and make sure he doesn't beat you on a stick battle. I get the speed part, but the stick battle, oh, come on, put it to the corner or something. But McDavid's special. That's why he's so good, right? I mean, this is what he does. What does he have, 17 points in 7 games? Stop. That's disgusting. But when that happened, it was about 7 minutes left in the second period after the Flyers controlled the entire thing. They scored. Then in back-to-back power plays, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scored. Draisaitl scored. Bang, bang. It's 5-1. It's 5-1, just like that. And from there, it felt like last year's Flyers hockey team. It did. Once things started to snowball, it felt exactly like it did last year with Dave Haxtell, and once something went wrong, it went completely wrong. Brian Elliott came in. So like I said, Carter Hart allowed 4 goals. Brian Elliott allowed the 5th and the 6th. In the third period, the 6th goal was actually Brandon Manning, of all people, with a clap bomb. How about it? How ironic is that? Brandon Manning scores against the Flyers with a clapper. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. But the Flyers show some fight. How about it? They scored 2 useless goals there late. They had a bunch of power plays there. It seemed like Edmonton was all over the place. They had too many men. They weren't really focused because it was such a blowout. Voracek finished the day with 2 goals and an assist. He had 3 points. Oscar Lindblom scored one of those late goals. He got a tip on it. Claude Giroux with 2 apples. Cootsie had a point. JVR still struggling to find the back of the net, although he had a ton of shots on the goaltender today. And speaking of the goaltender, Koskinen saved 49 shots of 52. Now, this is where I think stats are flawed, because if you look at the box score, you see, wow, the Flyers had 52 shots. The Edmonton Oilers had, what did they finish with, 22, 23, 24, in that range. It would seem like the Flyers crushed them, extremely dominated them, but it really wasn't. There was the second period where we did. The second period where we did for about 13 minutes. But all around, I mean, once the Oilers found a couple goals there in the back end of the second, they were on cruise control and the game was out of hand. It bothers me. So it was a bad road trip. I know a lot of people are going to want to blame the travel, blame going overseas, and then going to another country, and you're flying back to Philly, then you're going out west. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does take a toll on your body. You don't understand what time zone you're in, and all that. I get it. It is a lot on your body. But I don't care. I want to win hockey games. That's more important. So we get to go back to Dallas. There shouldn't be a question on if Carter Hart gets the nod. The kid is special. The kid is legit. He's super young. You don't see 20, 21-year-old goaltenders in the National Hockey League being a legit starter like he is. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be tough games like this. There's going to be great games like the one that he had with that special save that really won us the hockey game. There's going to be lots of ups and downs. That's just reality. It shouldn't be a question. Carter Hart gets the nod at home against Dallas. And the Dallas Stars are struggling, so we got to find a way to win that hockey game. We are now 2-2-1. It's early. We're 5 games in. I liked what I saw the first 2 games of the season. Vancouver was the third game. It was I mean, I would live with that because it's a long season. Things are going to happen. You get a point on the road. But the last 2 were bad. The last 2 reminded me of last year's hockey team. And that can happen. I don't know. When some things go wrong, sometimes it just makes this team go down. And go down to the extreme. And we got to find a way. I want to see what Alain Vigneault does and how he handles this, because he is known to not take crap, to sit people when they're not performing, even if you are a top player in this league like Voracek. He wasn't afraid to sit Voracek. How is he going to handle a 6-3 loss, which the score doesn't really tell you what it was? How is he going to handle that? It was bad at one point. It was embarrassing. It was another embarrassing type of loss. And I've seen way too many of them over the last few years here in Philadelphia. It just sucks. It really does just suck. So, I watched some of the defensemen out there. Shane Gostisbehere. Another performance where I don't know. I don't know what this kid really is. At one point in this game, he had the puck at the top of the blue line. He's stick handle, and he's looking. He tries to get a wrister on net, which is okay. We got some net front presence. We're trying to get pucks on, throw pucks on net, see if we can find something, find a hole. And he just whiffs and puts it into the forward there, trying to block the shot. Oh, come on. This game did get chippy, too. You could tell the Flyers were frustrated after whistle. Scott Lawton's grabbing people, and Darnell Nurse is getting involved. Sean Couturier's jumping on some guys there. You could tell that the Flyers were frustrated and pissed off with how things were going. Claude Giroux, 1 point, mother ref, and the refs, I think he got high stick. They didn't really call anything on the play. And speaking of calls, that brings me to a power play point, and I thought we had power plays where the puck was moving, more in terms of, I guess, our PK. We allowed some power play goals tonight, and last year our penalty kill was bad. We can't let that happen again. We need to be better in special teams than we have been over the last year or two, and today we took a step back. We took a step back with what we've seen so far this season. All right, well, there you have it. I want to know how you feel about Carter Hart and this team as a whole right now after this West Coast swing. It is only 5 games. I'm not trying to tell you the season's over, we're not making playoffs, but there is something to be said with this core group. There is a common theme, and Dave Hackstall, Alain Vigneault, Craig Berube, throw a coach in there. When things go wrong, things really go wrong, and it gets almost to the point where the team lets it happen and lets it snowball, and it gets unwatchable. I'm sitting there, it's late because it's a West Coast game. It started at 9:30. At least it didn't start at 10 or 10:30. It was a 9:30 game, but we're hitting midnight, and it's a 6-1 hockey game. I don't want to sit there anymore. Come on, let's go. That's how bad it gets. I don't want it to be that way. I want to root for more hockey. I want to see a sick overtime. I want to see the Flyers win and hold on to a win late. I want to see good hockey. What I saw tonight, I can't do a full season of this. I won't allow it. So let's see how the team responds. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one.